other things were adjusting, other things were happening, but there's a little shake up in the system because there's a lot of repairs that had to be done.
Okay.
Because I said, minor shaman for being CSE. I said, table beer, 9 beer, new one, your crown one same, and to me, it will come down.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, before the jumper will come up and then everything will be settled, something is going to happen so that in 2032, there will be new things. Because as you always ask me, on mine a be year.
Yes, I keep asking, but
yeah. On mine yes, that's what is going to happen.
Okay, you are talking about the economy.
Okay. And the system of governance.
Okay.
It will dive. By diving here, it will rise up again.
Okay.
It will dive in a way say obi ayembeshino.
A dive be take how long?
A dive it will take almost 8 months.
Ish.
That's not even an easy thing at all. And to be diving very deep. Now a dive here, it will be very different. But in December, the reason why there's a lot of shuffling is because you said what
can send be for my Ghana. Na the awedi kan any the Nyankopon gusu a oyi kire efa oman ebeyi
pa. Pa, yes.
Oman ni beyi
pa.
Edi ntina ugidi se oman eni dasum kakakra kire na
exactly. Oman be to understand say future be amehu no ano ohye.
Okay.
Now future be amehu no, it is something that has to do from 2024 Eddie got 10 years
2024 na kuja ma me paper. 2024 okay.
Eddie got 10 years time ya amehu adibi no.
Okay.
Now adini amehu ye no, it has to do with setting foundations to understand say the youth will rise up in a way say opese undi president crowd was crew so usuru. You'll be afraid to be a president.
Sir?
You will shake. You see,
maybe be aggressive.
To understand, say, you see, be the president, crowd, be June twice before you accept it. Yeah, the better crowd, be time, show or now said you could draw a crowd, you will panic.
I see.
And you easy say, will be picky up to go. So pressure, no be that presidential grounds, no so.
Okay.
And the decisions will begin to change, and so many things will change in the country. Yes.
Now, I like to know. Youth no that they oman Kenya omo spiritual in the spiritual realm no and the intina at a delay 2024 echo and as I and some Kenya nsem we no eni hunemu anti we intellectual say be compare be analyze emfa so for ye kan sunsun asem
absolutely enti with regards to that, Nyama Bibri Koso Sunsum. It is hindering the progress of the country.
Okay.
Mostly during election, there's a lot of sacrifices in Nyama Koso.
Okay.
And the political arena, because of certain spiritual workings, even if you become a president, there's a lot of battles and things you have to deal with before you can run the country. And mainly most people who run the country, they don't run it according to the needs of the people, but to their own interest. And before the people vote, before Baba vote. So at the end of the day, the electoral grounds becomes like a trade, commercialized foundation. And at the end of the day, what has to happen does not come into full conclusion. And that's the foundation.
I see. Ebusian for Accra 100.5 FM. Yane Sofupenia owo prophetic embassy. Na yegusa ye twetwen komo no. We dey ye twetwen komo for man Ghana ho. Na ya hwe papa say every 2024 koya kopem how many years time?
That's 10 years.
10 years. It from Sabria kopem 2034. Youth na any bebre. Na sa 10 years ya king one she sunsun mahu amampania ebe tina konya so omo no ombetimi handle sa youth.
Of course. No ma she ehuniama bebre wo sunsun.
Okay, yenko.
And one say the way Anyankopon ahihye no no eno na eba bebe mu. I saw 3 branches in the future.
Okay.
3 branches. One goes straight, one goes right, one goes left.
Okay.
But the only branch that keeps growing in time is the branch that John Dramani Mahama, Ebeye president, during his tenure, within 2 years something happened, a little shake up. They don't approve it tramping for and say, Maza, what's your now you want to slow certain things down now, pressure no will come to you.
So for Jinaho, obey president, the away anime and said the no.
No, 2024. 2024. By this thing 9 p.m. and Ajuna or no, Obia won't say what the president is.
Abana Yababeto no 7 December no.
Absolutely. Sabe Pepe.
Wow. Accra FM. Accra FM. Nyetelia.
Accra FM.
Nyetelia.
Accra FM. Yeah, mommy.
Abana by 9 no na yankin kan wie no. Ediana ebema sa batwo na ye so sharp sa.
So sharp, yes. Because abana ya babetu no enye aba ya gusu to all the time. Spiritually no in time I saw clearly say 9 p.m. no not in all arrangement and gathering no everybody knows who is the winner of the election. By 4 a.m. obese utongo kakra sorry say election e ko ni say no na clear. And most of the times a man for dream in their mind that this election, bloodshed election, fighting issues, among for come, people are talking about a lot of things. But mainly, election way, and election, just during the day of the election, among for there's normal shenanigans up and downs here. But the aftermath of the election, the counting and everything, Mr. Beya quiet.
I will say, Omampeni that John Dramani Mahamana Obewene.
Absolutely.
Ya wa software omo manga na mo so mo ne esi hini tu hini wa consult omo ebisa question ensemi say de awuhu no eye no kre eye clear ana say niama besisa because ya wa contact omo
dabi
san software ne san crofo no omo ni influence bia wa sa abatu no.
Of course, Obia Beye, I mean what they want to handle. But on say in the realm of the spirit, no, Obia ni ejuma.
Okay.
I always explain these things. Say,
okay.
I may be 12 years. As how the Bible made it profoundly clear in the book of Job. There's a spirit in man. Elihu was speaking.
Yeah.
He said clearly, I said days should speak, a multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man. The inspiration of the Almighty teacheth him understanding. And Elihu nani omokasa before Job, and he was explaining to them, say, there is a spirit in man, it is the spirit that makes the difference. And we are saying, Obia on a hierarchy, Obi a doctor, Obi a nurse, Obi a specialist, any angles. I may be a specialist in 2 years practicing or 3 years practicing, and I may be very, very young. But my field, no, if my field is pathology, and I say oncology or any other thing or dermatology, it is my field and I'm a specialist in it. We a medical doctor for 2,000 years, my expertise because I have practiced that specific branch. That specific branch of medicine. And in that regard, no me practice no will be sharper. And be details in pathology. Regular doctor. They want the specialist. And the specialists don't know how study according to that angle. And to be a candidate, or be a better income, but accordingly, no, you failed to see what is written. What's the Bible? Ezekiel, Enoch, Daniel, Elijah, Elijah by no obeshe nkoma ni bimo. Ezekiel by no obe hu ade obi hu ye. Enoch by no obe hu ade obi hu ye. John the Revelator by obe hu ade obi hu ye. Paul nso by obe church Bible dum na nso we hu dia John the Revelator ni hu ye. So different fields of operation, diverse kinds of operation, but by the same spirit. And based on the prophetic dimension, which by the grace of God we've mastered the fourth dimension, I can tell you clearly that in time, 9 p.m., 4 a.m., it is only John Dramani Mohammed's name you'll be seeing. Onyame Busheni, I don't know him from anywhere, but the future is clear.
And the date here, 28th August 2024. So for a year, Odifo Adjei Sowah. Ocean come where I am come say a prediction na say Oshe ɔman no mu ahokyerɛ na ɛna wɔde keka saa nsɛm wei sɔfo.
Okay, so time I'm sharing income, you know, I'm putting it already down together. Income share no came probably somewhere 2018, 2019.
Okay.
So in 2020, MPP will win the election. Some way MPP will take the election, but in 2024, NDC will take the election. Before 2016, I prophesied who will be the president as well.
Okay.
In 2016, 2020, and then 2024, which is coming. And Obi travel kwine now call baby. No see Udru junction where Obons will be ton Kube branch right. Now branchy now Ochikatra Obon school be with him. Now branch now school no pepe. No see branch left. Now me da any siwa. Say branch left Obi Hundai no. Because from the onset all the informations check out.
Okay,
absolutely.
Because media, them nakuja ya, na eja onenam ti, or say nakuja de in baby or no dear or can in some call. I know say 2020 no. Oba one chain eja no better train combo. Say on the free say the party na eja eba be when na ochre ne say krati emfa. And all the arreho. So the free ho. Meanwhile, no nakuja only na ya adwuma che. Adentina went to me and Danny and dear no, uncle baby or no a pesofo. Yet to me Danny ni sa because ye can a bet me about so be say oh nanke a conny say na mako Danny sofo ye pay munchly muye Roma.
So in the prophetic arena, no, yeah, there are two types of prophecy. In the two-dimensional types of prophecy, no, there is the 1 to 4 tale and there's the 1 to 4th tale.
Okay.
In other grounds, there is a prophet like Elijah that says that it will not rain for 3.5 years and it will not rain.
Okay.
So he has manipulated the time space.
Okay.
Ni faith ni strength na no the altar or your authority or your entity, and he can speak in that regard and stop everything in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Then there is people like Daniel, Ezekiel, John the Revelator. For eons,
okay,
years, days, centuries.
Okay.
Say this is what is going to happen.
Okay.
That one, even if you use your faith to manipulate it, is impossible.
Okay.
There are some things your faith can manipulate. There are some things it is destiny. Anything I want GDA, and then we have destiny.
Okay.
Exactly. There will be one prophecy that in to say no matter what, we be a president like Joseph in the Bible. The decree was on top of him.
Okay.
And his brothers, whom were stars, took him into slavery. They put him in a pit and ended up in Potiphar's house.
Okay.
The prophecy was there. Every prophecy comes with a gift. And in the gift, you say, obetimi, I interpret a dream. And some of them is Zafnat Pania.
Yeah.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, the gift need to so esa share in common say this is where he will stand. He still ended up there. Wow. So a to the bia nyankopon hihya ade bia ase ye bo chess no or the BBC no the way sia no the way sia no a share timeline because ya yeti krono mu ye bre for so many years 60 something years now. Okay. And at the end of the day nyankopon pese on fa new turnout in bra and the new turnout no I am not a sympathizer of a party but mainly what is going to happen within the timeline is what I'll put across. And at the end of the day, when I told you people earlier, said there is a root, a small root growing.
Aye.
That root in Suba, will anybody say, say, if you are Nakuja or what, convince me, say, we, Minko and conscience, Komama, and this and another day. So when the root 2 comes, Bone say, my prophecy will go according to that angle. And when that timeline, Matronoba, it will shock everybody. All the 2 parties in the country, they will feel flat. There will be a new party out of the country.
I see. From 2025, Kono, Wakano, Wakase, Omanpenida da John Dramani Mama Bedi Akunyano. 2 years later, Ose and Framaka Krebi Bebo. What's the nature of Sam Framano?
In Framane spiritually, what I saw, they say, a little shake up.
Okay.
Because after the election the country will go downside. Dollar rates 19 Ghana cedis. So the first time I told you people about dollar rates, that dollar rates was around somewhere 4 cities, 6 cities, yes. And make them say better 11 Ghana cedis. They should mark it the same year. Nobody, they shouldn't even look at 10 years. The same year. Nobody can stop it.
Okay.
Me who said once the election was done, it shot up to 19. Then they started eating it down gradually. The first year, things were adjusting. Other things were happening, but there's a little shake up in the system because there's a lot of repairs that had to be done.
Okay.
Because I said, minor shaman for being CSE. I said, table beer. Okay. And it will come down.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, before the jumper will come up and then everything will be settled. After that, the second year, there will be a lot of campaigning progress. I say, push a month for Munkoji Krono, within 1 year of President Mohammed's distinct presidency, almost I say, the pressure, and the pressure will bring a revolution. People will want to take over that list because there is more within now to 2025. There's going to be about 2 more coup d'etat and it will enforce people to try to do African countries. Yes, so it will bring more or less like more demonstrations from the youth, and that pressure will be very enormous. And after that pressure, everything will calm down. After the pressure, there's something that will come out. I don't know your prophecy key be a media to
say I had the capital now.
Unlock it.
Capital no they unlock it because say a hand will be 80.
There are some things that unless God gives us utterance, we cannot unlock it.
Okay.
And Saki in the media tour. Once that one happens, the country will begin to rise in such a way. Say, what's in Ghana for so many years? You have never imagined something like that before. After the 4 years of the president's grounds, their party, the NDC party, the contract that reverted in the realm of the spirit is 16 years of ruling. Break the 8. Only NDC party will break the 8.
Hey, really?
Yes.
80. I feel way obedient to mean breaking 8.
No.
Breaking the 8 will be around 2030 and 2032 because you're 2024. Next 4 years neighbor 2028 and after 2032.
Absolutely. I'm open number breaking 8 now. And in the breaking of the 8 that is when the young tree will bring all of them down. Because after the 4 years another 4 years during that election, the next 8 breaking and the breaking 8 now there will be some inefficiencies be our atmosphere no more. And that inefficiency will give the strength to the young party.
Okay.
One singular young party at the NDC, MPP phone in our fam say bye.
Hey sir. Wow. Hey, sir, friends from 2025 kwa kopem 2032 na o can say NDC be break 8 na MPP there na ekoso.
Exactly. As I was saying, as I prophesied that earlier. This thing on party, and I said there will be a division in one party, and after the division, close to the election, October, November, move back the butterfly. So join you. Which is Alan.
Okay.
Yes. So join you.
Okay.
Now the fishy thing is that in prophetic timeline, the asset would the plots be once Adiba could come back, the outcome will be flawless.
Okay.
Which means timer Alan omube piano this omu di bano ebedru baby no he can't join them entirely, but then at one point he will try to rally support behind them, and but still the election will not go according to plan. So after the 4 years of Mama, that's when you see true division. Vice president, for them. And then that's Dr. Muhammad Alhaji Baumia. Yes. And then the one that will be our friend in Napu. Obviously, like Ondo the first person and he will give up the election in 2024.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
Hey, Sofo. Napo Mokwame Nkrumah no ono na bembe bu our 2024 election.
Yes.
After seeing two abanewie na ye bobo results na ba no na Paul give up.
Yes, he'll give up on the election. I don't know, but I can say, I mean, it's obvious. NT, they should release it. It's future timeline.
I don't know.
I
don't know. Obeba Montina Beka na on any crowd be na be bohun komo ni fi na say ne ho baby.
Oh, Obeba Montina Beka on the cry to come out clearly because the issue of the election is by 9 p.m. the way the voting system is going. Now counting system never say occur during the night to like 4 a.m. No. Now if you keep sitting down, say results in Imba in Imgwa because they counted the entire Ashanti regional votes in Yama. I'm talking about 16 regions. You counted 11 regions. We need back. Not even one region. So at the end of the day, during the counting of the Ashanti region, which is not going to be most of the years, what you say? I count Ashanti region, NDC 1, MPP 3,800. That's not going to be the case. The situation is going to be straightforward. Ebeye banter head to head. And yet long
Ashanti region. NDC party no regions are hina between me winning
11 straightforward.
11. Now MPP are winning 5.
Yes. Wow. 5 of even that one cry a battle.
Hey, now so for and someone can do because Ghana battle no. The last time cry who say will be winning 2020 and I think around 9th December muho 8th 9th muho and sana but what's he we no that day na I say I clear.
Yes. Oh, check me Facebook. I say 2020 election. I prophesied that there is going to be a victory. Victory on the 9th of December. Secondly, the day will be on a Wednesday, and the time will be 5 p.m.
Okay.
And I bet declare election. So the day, the hour, the time. I prophesied it on that Facebook this year.
Okay.
During the day of election, we. 2020 election, I prophesied that ahead of time. And the time no cry was there. And then precise. And then but time now it's not a new thing.
I see.
Yes.
So for your sunflower over samba.
No problem.
Nyamia doma UJ MP within next week ya na ema cause questions no was say ebisa bebre na yeah because the entia on say efie ha no sabiu yemfa obia keke emma ha niama bi wo ho a ema follow na me dia company niama ekoso o manum na mehu say papa we obi a at least ye was say o man ni hwe ni yie o man ni hwe ni yie na ye ona no ha enu ntina to me safro say so for bra because in some bebre wo why was say me bisa.
Absolutely.
Enya batwe nko but o man Ghana na nkasa no problem. Na yenhwe hawa ye betumi ayena some of these problems no ye betumi solve. Okay, you are talking about the economy.
Okay. And the system of governance.
Okay.
It will dive. By diving here, it will rise up again.
Okay.
It will dive in a way say obi ayembeshino.
A dive be take how long?
A dive it will take almost 8 months.
Ish.
That's not even an easy thing at all. And to be diving very deep. Now a dive here, it will be very different. But in December, the reason why there's a lot of shuffling is because you said one thing, you were asking one question. It's because there were certain funerals. Due to that, they had to put some people somewhere and remove some people from somewhere because some places were vacant.
Asemaba.
So that one is a different story on its own. But then we come back to the economy.
A funeral no who hear me. So for how many funerals?
2 of them.
Sitting ministers and I say
CEO minister. But in that timeline, those things can be adjusted in time. That one we can bend the time for its sake. Yes. But then the shuffle will come because of one of them. I can't get a hold of it in the dimensions. But there's one important one we can bend and create something else by the grace of God. But mainly there will be shuffling as a result of that. Once that shuffle will kick in, yes. And then as we go forward with regards to the economy, economy no goes downside. But one thing I always say is be patient. Be patient.
Okay.
Because once the economy goes downside, we need to be patient. Once you have the patience, within the 2 years interval, there will be an elevation. Once the elevation starts, me who say you started developments. And I'm not talking about Greater Accra development, I'm talking about nationwide development.
Okay.
Infrastructure, hospitals, different kinds of setup. 3rd year in office. All those things will begin to happen. And it will begin to happen very fast, and it looks so impossible. They'll begin to build things that are so mega beyond your wildest imagination. And it was so amazing. I'm looking at it in time, and it is happening, and it was so unique. But one important thing in time that I saw 2 branches in that specific angle. It's 2 branches. The president will sit down in the office. He will have 2 opportunities in hand. He will choose the other one, the opposing figure. Once he chooses the opposing figure, the trend of the 2-year timeline for us to exceed into success will break. Once that timeline is broken, in 2028, it will be a different story altogether. That does not mean MPP will win the election. That's a different story.
If you had the Oba, President, there will be 2 major decisions I also take.
Yes.
One,
the first major decision is about the economy. 2 things they will place before him.
Okay.
He has to choose within these 2 things. He has to choose whether to present the money into the agric industry, into the farming protocols, and secure that one. Or he has to present the money into gold. The president will present the money for gold in the first branch of time I am seeing. And once the money hits into that and his investment in the foundation, it will look beautiful in the beginning. The next thing you will see in news is $246 billion.
Ashe.
Into oblivion.
And what will happen after that?
Sorry, 243. Sorry, 243. I want to be specific on the number. $243
billion.
Remember that number, 243. Yes, not 6. 243. Specific.
When so the figure account says no country about me, I say 37. Me share chat to the name, Mr. $243 billion.
Yes.
A million, a billion.
Oh, a billion.
And how are we going to welcome this news as a country in timeline?
Exactly. That is what I was saying. Say it will create a lot of problems for the next step of election 2024. It will be very different. 2028, sorry. It will create a different story altogether for us. The whole angle and the whole thing, because the thing cannot be explained because it was through one man. They will temper. The person is sitting down trying to make the government better. Somebody is playing a different game altogether behind. And that's the first problem. Now, what I will say, to save us from this branch of time, we have to put the money on the agric.
Okay.
On the agriculture, yes.
I
don't know the agriculture minister. So if somebody says that to me, or besides say, maybe on the agric minister or pescama, I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I'm telling him he doesn't know me. I don't know him. We don't know each other.
Honorable Eric Opoku.
Because of this prophecy, Christ shouldn't, if he wants to know me, shouldn't try to know me.
Okay.
Yeah, you should stay away from me. Absolutely.
I see. Oh, can I say close to, if I say 2027, I call 2028, you know?
Yes.
On my penny 3rd year, no? Construction near the development because so suddenly a normal with government or seeking for re-election. At the end, Nebema way, some development way are unique and so different from other ones now you're witnessing.
Because it will be very different. It will be very, very, very different. Roads, bridges, very different. International standard. Not normal, ordinary things. They are very different. Once you see it coming, you know this one is not the ordinary NDC, MPP kind of development. This is different story. Very unique, very special, very different. And it affected the whole country from the top to the down. And then in these 4 years, the Dumso problem, they will change it. And they will solve a situation. I saw that they were fixing new meters because there's something that will go on in the ECG, electronic company. One will fall, one will rise. Then it will divide into two. Electricity company right, electricity company left. Two electricity companies running the country.
In teachers, say no put your man can say on be privatize it. No, and I dear him.
I don't watch, I don't follow those news. Once I'm sitting there, anything I don't know.
ECG mienu.
Yes.
Nakuja. Inti Omen running is saying, I think na ye state owned, and I say Obina air running for fro. So for
it will be two sector running, like two angle of operation. I say a blend of two different companies.
Okay.
Dealing with electricity.
Okay.
And then you will be given the option of which one to take. And it will be two angles of electricity companies that will be running the country. That one will just solve that is why I told you that I saw news being posted. And I give you the date.
Yeah, okay, August.
Yes.
I think 24th of August or so.
And I told you, say, it will be stated clearly that for about 1 year and more, there was never light out. Dumso was never a possibility. Not Dumso. If it was a virus, it has been killed entirely. The reason why I'm telling you this is because the future is very clear. Something is going to happen so that in 2032 there will be new things. Because as you always ask me, on mining a year.
Yes, I keep asking, but
yeah. On mining yes, that's what is going to happen. It's going to change, and there are branches in time that has to be fully adjusted, and that is what will happen. Now, once the gold is taken, there is not much we can do to bend time. It is established.
Enti onfesikano ensha Greek mu na onjai gold in semno.
No, yes, you should leave the gold aside and focus there because there will be big disappearance of money. And once it disappears, they have to account for it. Once they will account for it, they will fracture the whole timeline. If they fracture the whole timeline, the anomaly will happen. If an anomaly happens is in time, this is what happens if an anomaly happens. You will have someone else being president who is not supposed to be president. And then the time is fractured.
When the Babe president and say or no president. So
it's not MPP government still. That's not
within NDC.
Yes.
2028.
Yes.
I see.